Well, as the second wave of coronavirus continues to grip the country, several actors from the Hindi film industry have stepped up and have become real-life heroes for their fans and help those who are in need. Take a look.
No beds, no medicines, not even oxygen to survive the deadly second wave of the coronavirus pandemic. Helpless patients and their attendants knock doors for help. The faltering medical infrastructure seems to have wreaked havoc in India. And while the state governments and the centre is trying to scale up these basic facilities to cope with the country's worst nightmare, it's our celebrities who are on a rescue mission and have turned COVID heroes on social media. Yes, there is more to Bollywood than just glamorous parties and exotic shooting locations. Like 2020, this year too hasn't been kind, but actors like Sonu Sood are making sure they continue to play the Good Samaritan for hordes of helpless people in crisis. And how? Yes, these PPE kit-laden COVID warriors airlifted Bharti, a 25-year-old girl, a critically ill patient, in an air ambulance from Nagpur to Hyderabad for special treatment. All thanks to Sonu Sood, who immediately arranged medical aid upon knowing her condition. From arranging injections for COVID patients to helping this little baby for his liver transplant, assuring plasma donors to the critically ill, and even launching his channel called India Fights with COVID on the Telegram mobile app, which aims to find hospital beds and oxygen, actor Sonu Sood has left no stone unturned to help the needy. Most recently, the actor reportedly flew out of Mumbai to help some more people in these dire times. Sonu Sood's philanthropy continued even when he tested COVID positive, and the actor, who has been named the brand ambassador by the Punjab government for its COVID vaccination program, continued to extend his support to fans on social media. Now, if you jog your memory, his contribution and rescue mission in 2020 is what made him a highly celebrated real-life hero in the first place. Yes, the actor was among the first few celebrities to make sure that he extended all possible help to the migrants who walked miles to reach home in scorching heat during the lockdown with barely any food and water. Not only did he reach out to the needy on social media, but also arranged buses for thousands of stranded migrants across the country. From airlifting 200 Odia girls stuck in Kerala to arranging an Air India flight for migrants stuck in Assam in the wake of the cyclone Nisarga, Sood rescued thousands of people. So much so that many even started comparing him to the late Sushma Swaraj, known for helping Indians stuck in difficult situations. He not only launched the Pravasi Rozgar app for those who lost their jobs, but also provided meals to many, making sure they didn't sleep hungry. The actor even equipped frontline workers with masks and face shields, and also helped in airlifting students stranded in Kyrgyzstan.
When our Indian flight just landed in Kyrgyzstan, this is the most beautiful for us.
He helped a techie selling vegetables land a job, and gifted a tractor to a poor family from Andhra Pradesh, ploughing their fields manually. Remember warrior Aji, the skillful stuntwoman from Pune? Yes, Sonu Sood, the man with the heart of gold, also helped her open her training school. Sood's Dabangg co-star Salman Khan clearly learned a lesson or two from him, as the charity-prone superstar is making sure he does his bit for fans in need. The actor extended support to frontline workers by distributing 5,000 food packets, and this video of Salman personally visiting the kitchen to oversee the quality of meals went viral on social media. Even in 2020, when he was at his Panvel farmhouse, the superstar made sure no one slept hungry. He arranged for tons of ration and made sure it was distributed with the help of Lulia Vantur and Jacqueline Fernandez. Back then, he even appreciated the efforts made by Baba and Zishan Siddiqui, who had provided food essentials to 1,25,000 families. Akshay Kumar also has a heart of gold. The actor recently donated 1 crore to Gautam Gambhir's foundation to help people affected by COVID-19. The cricketer turned politician took to social media to share the same with his fans and followers and thanked the actor. He called Akshay a ray of hope in the current situation. The actor replied to Gambhir and wrote that he is glad that he could help. Akshay Kumar's contribution has been immense in the past 1 year, and the most remarkable was his donation of 25 crores to the PM Care Relief Fund in March 2020. Like Sonu Sood, Salman Khan and Akshay Kumar, fellow actor Bhumi Pednekar has also stepped up to do her bit during the second COVID wave. From urging people to stay at home and follow all the requisite government protocols,
तो हम इस देश के नागरिक होने के हिसाब से क्या कर सकते हैं? बहुत आसान चीज है, घर रहिए। तो घर से तभी निकलिए जब जरूरी काम हो। तफरी करने, दोस्तों के साथ चिल करने, पार्टियां करने, रिश्तेदारों से मिलने, ये रीजंस नहीं है इस समय इतना बड़ा रिस्क लेने का।
to even requesting recovered COVID patients to come forward to donate plasma.
50 kilos and above, you're in the age group of 18 to 55 years with no underlying conditions like a heart problem, thyroid, BP, and if you have these problems and your other things are stable, then you can donate. Women who've ever been pregnant or have ever conceived cannot donate. If you've ever been vaccinated, you cannot donate. If you think you're eligible, please go fill the form. The form is link in bio. We really need your help. Please come donate India.
Bhumi continues to share videos on social media to spread awareness about the current situation.
We have to break the chain, and we can only do it if we stand together as a community. I really hope that this exercise is helpful and you can give us your feedback. Thank you so much.
The actress has been avidly highlighting resources for COVID-stricken people on her social media handle. Shilpa Shetty is too trying her best. The actress shared this 4.5-minute long video on social media, requesting fans to donate funds for a charity working to fight hunger.
There are a lot of people who are ashamed to even reach out. They'll go hungry, but they want to have their self-respect. So please reach out. I will be sharing a swipe up to their donations page in my stories, and I will also tag them. I'd also like to reach out to all my friends from the industry to come forward and help in whatever way that they can. Just spread the message, bring about a certain awareness.
Priyanka Chopra and Sonam Kapoor are currently in London, but that hasn't stopped them from coming to the aid of fellow Indians. While Sonam has been sharing posts and information about COVID-19 resources, Priyanka Chopra is trying to amplify requests for plasma, oxygen, medicines and other essentials for COVID patients. She in fact even requested the American president to share vaccines with India on her social media handle. Varun Dhawan, Shahid Kapoor and Taapsee Pannu are also among the other famous faces who are doing their bit for the country. So as they say, action always speaks louder than words, especially in these dire times when our country collectively gasps for breath. And Bollywood sure seems to have heard the call. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
Well, celebrities are now using social media platforms in order to amplify requests for help and highlight resources for people who have been affected by COVID. My colleague Pia Hingurani spoke to Bhumi Pednekar, who has been leading one such citizen-led initiative. Listen in.
To begin with, what was that trigger that made you go ahead and begin all the initiatives to go out there instead of criticizing the administration and criticizing whatever is going on right now, to go out there, put yourself out there and help people?
First of all, thank you so much. I honestly am doing that I'm doing exactly what an aware citizen should do. I can't honestly think of a certain point where it all started, but I recently went through a COVID experience and my mom was hospitalized, and that's when it really hit me. So all of last year was more about monetary support, making videos and spreading the word. But then I realized that, okay, there's a lot more that I can do. I have a certain amount of reach, and right now people are honestly confused. They are anxious, they are panicked. and I should kind of be out there and help them and do whatever groundwork I can. I remember when my mom needed plasma, I had put out a post, and the kind of reach that post had and the number of people that contacted me. But even though, with the influence or, the support that I have in Bombay, it was difficult for me to arrange that plasma for her. And that's when I realized that, okay, if this is this tough for me, how tough would it be for somebody who literally has no support? And this was the thought. And it just started off with me sharing one request. And then I was flooded with so many people calling out for help, and it was me and a couple of influencers that started, because Bombay had literally become quite bad. And now we literally have about 180 volunteers working with us. It's a bit of a pan-India movement. There's no system to this. We only have one aim and one goal: reach out to as many people as possible, help as many people as possible.
Are you also a plasma donor? And there are so many myths around it. You've made videos about it. You've been tweeting about it as well. How are you, in fact, trying to bust those myths?
Again, the power that I have is social media. I want to reach out to as many people, make as many content pieces as possible. I'm going to keep talking about it, and it's really helped. Like we have a sister initiative called Plasma Warrior, and that's been doing really well. We've literally been able to connect donors and patients directly. And we again have a team of volunteers. They kind of vet any kind of eligible donor, anybody who's interested. Our team calls them, we take them through the process, we connect them to a patient. And see, that's what's required right now. Right? People get very scared. They feel like, oh, if I donate plasma, will I lose out on my antibodies? Not really, because it's literally just 10% of what is used, and you can actually donate healthy plasma every 15 days. That works out to be 24 times in a year. It is a 2-hour process, but those 2 hours can literally save somebody's life. And the good part is you're not really losing out on any blood, because the system is such that they kind of pump in the blood again into your body. So they're actually literally only extracting the plasma.
By the time patients get to the an oxygen donor or something like that, it's almost over. How do you help those people?
Listen, we are part of the system, right? So our primary idea was that whatever information we put out should be verified. Now, obviously, it's not 100% because, we aren't professionals. This is something that we just kind of started. It is a citizen-led initiative, and it's only getting better with time. But the idea is that we have volunteers that vet out information, because I get so many leads on social media. There's so many people that are constantly sending me information about this. So I send it off to a team. They vet it out there. I actually have people that are calling all these numbers, the ones that are fake. Again, it's distributed in my circuit. That, hey guys, this is a fake hoax call. If, please let's not contact this person. And then whenever I put in a requirement, or any of the influencers put in a requirement, our volunteers try and give us the most legitimate information possible. But, as you very rightly pointed out, that the problem is that the requirement is very large, and the resources are very less. So the moment something opens up, there are already like 20 people trying to eye it, and rightly so. A patient who's not in contact with me has equal right on that resource as anybody who's in contact with me. But the idea is whoever gets help there. So there are so many times that, people are waiting for an ICU, but we know that, okay, if supposing we send them an oxygen cylinder, they can still buy some time. Right. So it's these kind of things that our volunteers also help us, help people with. And it's literally 24 hours in a day. I sleep with my phone. I wake up with my phone, and, we are all very motivated. It's difficult. It's not an easy thing to do, because there are so many people calling out for help. And, many times in a day, you hear very heartbreaking news as well, because, there's a patient or a lead that you're trying to work on, and then in a couple of hours, you're unable to get them that resource, which does happen, because we are only the enablers. We aren't the providers. Right. And then, the relative calls us thanking us, but then he's like, we've lost the patient, and it's quite hard to heartbreaking because you've been in that journey with that person. You kind of can understand how desperate the family members are. There are so many people that have no assistance at all. There are elder couples that, where both the husband and wife are, COVID positive, and they have no idea. They are not in a state to call numbers and arrange for oxygen or for food or for any kind of assistance. It is the kind of stories that I have come across in the last few days. I mean, it's honestly an experience that can change you as a person for the better. I think it only makes you stronger.
Absolutely. But, at this point where, people are finding it very difficult to cope, being on social media, you're out there helping people. But have you ever felt helpless at any point, being that I wish I could just, help those people out more, but there is absolutely nothing that you could perhaps or your team do?
Oh, absolutely. All the time. There are times where you're just like, what do I do? Like, I'm thinking that, oh my God, please help me just get that one bed, like somehow. But then, it's so, I mean, a bed only opens up, into when two things happen, right? When a patient actually recovers or somebody succumbs to their illness, so it's such a, I don't know, like there are many times, and there are so many times where our volunteers, because all of them are quite young, right? It's in the age group of literally 18 to like maybe 2021, where they feel helpless, and it's tough for them because suddenly they are seeing a lot of death. But then there's a lot of good news also. Suddenly we'll have this deal where we'll help a patient with a ventilator. Or then, we get like messages full of love and, families telling us, thank you so much. They send us pictures. They send us voice notes. We are just blessed all the time. And, I think that's something that really gets us going. And honestly, the other thing is that there was no plan. Like this wasn't planned. This just happened. We were just a group of people that attracted each other. And this isn't my initiative alone. This is each member, everyone who's a part of this group, this community that we've created. It's all of our initiative. That's why, I can't take any onus of this, because those volunteers are.
But you're leading them. So that itself is such a great thing. I mean, the fact that you could come out and think of something like this, even if it's a personal experience, that itself is wonderful.
Yeah, I'm glad that, I'm in a position where I can help people. And I just want to kind of put it out there, anyone, even if one person who needs help, go do it. Now is the time to show compassion. Now is the time to show solidarity with our country, with our community, irrespective of anything, go out there, help people. Obviously, you need to be safe. I don't want anybody to kind of misunderstand me and think that they should break COVID protocol. Not at all. That's the biggest help that you can actually do for your community right now, is that, behave in a COVID appropriate way. But I feel apart from that, if you have financial aid, go help people financially. If you have the time, become a volunteer. If you, whatever resource you have, if you have reach out to more people, whatever resource you have, put it out there.
Right. The other thing that you've been also tackling is hoarding. You're trying to encourage people not to hoard oxygen cylinders, concentrators, BiPAP machines, which are so important right now, and telling people if your work is done or if you have empty cylinders, go out there and return it or pass it on to a needy person.
Yes. And this is more for the privileged classes, Pia, because we are the ones who can actually afford hoarding things. So don't be scared. The biggest thing is, and especially for us, if you're an educated person, you're truly lucky. And that's the sad truth of, whatever situation we are in right now, So collect all knowledge that you can. It's very important for us to know that, okay, if I as an individual start showing symptoms, the first thing I need to do is a test. And if I don't have access to a test, I need to get in touch with a physician and get onto the right method of medication. Whatever is required, because that's literally the game changer between you recovering at home and you going to the hospital. That's what I've understood over how many ever people are spoken. It's all about when you start your medication, and it's very, very important because it is a viral infection and it is going to spread in your body. If you don't take all the necessary steps, you are going to reach a point where you will need hospitalization. And that's the point that we all need to avoid getting to, because our medical sector cannot support it right now.
Bhumi, very honestly, we've had 1 year to tackle something like this. the second wave seems to be even deadlier than the first one. Do you think somewhere our system failed us? We failed the system at some point without, we became also very complacent as citizens to go out there without masks?
Look, I am not an expert. Okay, but from whatever I've observed, and as somebody who is a part of the problem, let me also kind of put it out there, is that we as a society didn't take this seriously. There were weddings and there were parties and there were whatever it was. Look, the economy has to run, right? Like I was shooting, that's very important. You have to work. But if we want all our industries to work, we need to follow COVID. We need to follow the protocol that the government has given. People weren't wearing masks. They just behaved like, COVID is over. And I was actually one of those paranoid people that always was lecturing people that, listen, you cannot do this. Because, you read, you're aware, you have knowledge, you know that, okay, while things are okay in India, there are countries in Europe where a second wave has started and it's not been good, So you kind of know that COVID hasn't disappeared, and definitely we are a part of the problem, and definitely we took it lightly, and I feel we are still taking it lightly. I still speak to friends and they're like, oh my God, things are so bad, and I'm amazed. I'm like, are you living in a bubble? Like, do you not see it? Like, how blinded are you by your privilege? Like, it amazes me.
Right. And lastly, of course, before we let you go, last year, it's very easy to blame celebrities. They are the easiest targets. Last year, a lot of stars were blamed for putting up pictures, working out at home, cooking in the kitchen. And this year, they've been on holidays. And a lot of people have been trolled for that. What are your thoughts on it?
Look, I'll tell you something. Honestly, I rather like not comment on it because I feel like to each his own, I feel like whatever information or any kind of communication that happens through our conversation, I want it to be as positive as possible. And the only thing I want people to take away from this is that, be safe, be home, wear a mask, go donate your plasma, go help whoever you can, don't hoard. We are in a crisis and we are the ones that have the solution.
Right.
That's all that I want people to kind of take back.
Absolutely. Well, more power to you. You're getting a lot of blessings for this. And, hope we all can help you in all the endeavors that you're trying to, reach out to people and do all the things that you are. Thank you so much for talking to us, Bhumi. Thank you.
Yeah.
That brings us to the end of this edition. For further news and updates, you can log on to our website, that's indiatoday.in. You can also download the app. Thanks for watching.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.